is, John?
20 seconds over, Andy.
Oh, damn, sorry.
Earlier this evening, I was reading John Osborne in the Sunday Telegraph, and he was going on about pop music, and I quote, with its defeated supplicant beat, inexorable, dulled, and tame. Well, we've got loads of it for you.
To the very last drop.
Run as fast as you can.
Dennis Al Capone from the CD Forever version, and that was Run Run. And the first record in tonight's programme came from Dead Moon, as recommended by Mudhoney, and from an LP on Tombstone Records called Stranded in the Mystery Zone. Fish in just a moment, but first, 1,000 Yard Stare. Fades in a bit.
Time again.
On Stifled Aardvark Records, that's a 1,000-yard stare, their new 12-inch, which is called Comeuppance. And here's a postcard from Alan Thornton from Cassington, Oxford, in which he says, how about playing a bit more of the Orb? The last 20 minutes of last night's programme, Alan. Sorry about that if you weren't listening. And the first from Silverfish, this is Jimmy, with more Jimmys to follow.
Just a
Still sounds fine to me. Those are the Undertones and Jimmy Jimmy, a couple of Jimmys. And the previous Jimmy was from Silverfish in Session, and there's a version of that on their EP with Scrambled Egg. This is Lord Finesse.
Finesse got something for your eardrums. Back on the scene, long time no hear from. It's the funky man, the brother with the same sound I've been cooling. A body and some change now. So hand over the microphone, cause it's my turn. The brother with the fade, half moon and long sideburns. Nice doping, keep the girl scoping. I say the funky stuff and get all the brothers open. So heed that. Don't try to yap and give me feedback. Lord Finesse is the man. Believe that, can it? I steal your show like a bandit. I get paid while you're broke like mass transit. You're not as smooth as this, so what can you do to this? Brothers need to stop and step with that foolishness. I'm the type to interrupt the party. I don't need a phone to reach out and touch somebody. Give me a mic, that's just as good as one. Leave the party is what you act and see should've done. Cause y'all starving, I'm living extra large and I'm swinging this as if my name was Tarzan. Yeah, cause on the rough with a smooth tip, I got more styles than you see in a kung fu flick. It's Lord Finesse and I got it all planned. It's the return of the funky man. Brothers get cash, but I get way more. Cause in the 90s, I'm getting paid for rhyming in the 21st century. So when asked who the funkiest, you better mention me. I go all out while a lot of crews be frontin'. I know and they know that they can't do me nothing. Cause I'm smooth and while the skills I utilize. Lyrics so advanced, you think my brain was computerized. Brothers be frontin', thinking they delaying something. Yapping at the mouth, but yo, they ain't saying nothing. I ain't terror so clever that rappers better play the background and get they act together. Cause they be riffing like they on a crazy tip. Trying to flex, but they softer than baby shit. Frontin' like they wild, what they played out style. I put them boys on trial, pull they card and they foul. I'm hardcore, but I still keep the scene pumping. So all that singing and dancing, that stuff don't mean nothing. MC slept on Lord Finesse lately. Some of them hate me, think they could take me. I take on some of them, bring a whole ton of them. I take them all on and stomp each and every one of them. Brothers couldn't hang using poetry starter kits. Finesse is blessed and more complex than politics. In 91, I show fear to none cause I'ma get raw and funky for years to come. I stand in command with the mic in my hand. It's the return of the funky man. Who's the man? Come on, take a guess, G. The LORDFINE-SC. It's time to celebrate, build and elevate MC that try to rap. I grab the mic and tell them wait. Cause times is getting rough, no time to be slipping up. So pay attention and listen up. And I'm bound to get others hype and make them say, hey yo, that brother's nice. That's why when I grab a mic, I don't know how to act. But the crowd reacts to my slick type style of rap. Word is born, I be flowing strong. That's why brothers always say, Finesse got it going on. But I don't go out like a poop putt, get all gassed and walk around souped up. I just max and write raps that are facts. So next year I'll be back to keep my name on the map. Cause so much brothers that was rough got paid, lost their touch cause they didn't give up. But I'm not like that, I just strike back with hype raps, keep me on the right track. Out for self, for fame and wealth, I got hits under the belt.
Go ahead with yourself.
But yo, I'm not big time, I just rip rhymes, flip lines to prove I could get mines and can win again. And make ladies and gentlemen clap, yell and scream and say, yeah, again. That shows I got more clout. I get hyped with a mic when it's time to go all out. My plans be going cool, game is flowing smooth. Finesse is the man. Damn right, I can show and prove. I'm here to take my stand. Hot damn, it's the return of the funky man.
Bad brothers know his name.
Yeah, come again.
Bad brothers know his name.
Yeah, come again.
Bad brothers know his name.
Expensive import from America from Lord Finesse, and that's called Return of the Funky Man. And that doubtless is what they'll be saying in Scunthorpe on Friday when the John Peel Roadshow breezes into town. I won't tell you the venue in order to keep the rioting to a minimum, but something for you to look out for if you're in the Scunthorpe area. Yes, sirree. Here are some more ironic Austrians. Obada Beng is the title of the track, and that's by De Goas. I don't know what that means at all, but it comes from Linz in Austria, and it's a sort of concept rather like that the Wedding Present seem to be following in 1992, in that they're putting out an EP, a 7-inch single rather, well I suppose it is an EP, each month throughout the year, or for 12 months anyway. They started about halfway through 1991 to demonstrate the strength of the music in the Linz area. And this is something most uplifting from Suffocation. And those boys are saying not likely to life in a pretty emphatic way. Suffocation from a CD called, I'm afraid, Human Waste on Nuclear Blast Records, and that was synthetically revived. In a couple of minutes, the first from Mercury Rev. But now...
retarded bruisers, blind meager streakers, meet these numb, inscrutable sounds of their love as an overflow. Furies her bed, blood wings that swarm, bald ones will not beg before they try to stay. Guns at tall, barrel is warm, the limited birds have such limited hearts. As it may seem, remember that your self-esteem course to know chasing the girl inside a car. Course to know sleep, I go for a glass of water. She don't mind. She's my daughter half the time. There's pretty smells there, so inviting. She's unprotected. Her eyes are slivers. It gives me shivers.
Information about them later on in the programme. That's Mercury Rev in session and Chasing a Bee, if you like. And you may recall that this next one I played quite a few times a couple of years ago, and at the time it was impossible to get hold of copies of it, and a lot of people wrote in and said, where can I get hold of that? And I had to write back and say, I don't know. But now I do. It's come more generally available from an EP called Experimental Sessions, Mind, Body and Soul.
Fall in hell, or so angelic, you need a pinch of psychedelic.
Can't get enough of those, to be sure. That's Mind, Body and Soul and their version of White Rabbit. And And the CD was called Turn of the Screw, and it had got some extraordinary moments on it, like this. That's on a CD that comes from what used to be Recommended Records, but then became something like Rec Records, and now seems to have shortened itself to RER Records. Turn of the Screw is the title of the CD, and the ensemble is called Hail, and that was Tar Pits. Now the Blowfelts.
Started. Oh, why?
When we started, I never thought we could go wrong. It was so easy then, we could do anything. I can't believe now that that's all gone. The dog is dead. It's not going anywhere. There's no use kicking it anymore. It's had its day, now it's over. The dog is dead. It's not going anywhere. There's no use kicking it anymore. It's had its day, now it's over. Over and out.
Allegorical stuff about a romance that has ended from the Blowfelts on their own Throb record label, and they seem to be based in New Cross, London. And that's called The Dog Is Dead. And Leslie out of Silverfish should be on the phone. Are you on the phone, Leslie?
Only just. I can only just hear you.
Oh, right, OK. Is there anything we can do about that? Right, it's being done at this very moment. You live in London, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know anything about Brick Lane?
I know it's supposed to be a pretty scuzzy sort of place, but it's good for buying stuff really cheap. Like off the back of the lorry type stuff.
Oh, is that it? Because I've never been down there, not living in London myself, and somebody said to me, you ought to go down to Brick Lane, you know, because I wanted to get some stuff for my son, because it's his birthday for the next 7 minutes. And I went down there, and people said there are great Indian restaurants in Brick Lane, and I went...
Right.
Do you know any good Indian restaurants in Brick Lane? Because I went to one of the worst Indian restaurants I've ever been to in my life down there today.
Really?
Yeah.
I would have thought so. I mean, it's pretty renowned for that, but it's got a good Doc Martin shop.
Has it? You can't.
Doc Martens. Don't bother with the curry.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm more into curries than Doc Martens myself, but I was hoping you could give me the name of a really good one.
I don't know.
Right. Okay. Well, I know you're not responsible for your promotional material and so forth yourself, but the stuff that we've been furnished with here, it says recent promotional frolics by the band include dancing with nubile wenches sporting pig masks and male organs of generation. Now, what's all that about?
Oh, that was us. We just finished making a video for Crazy.
Oh, I see, right.
And it just got the people who were setting up the video made the mistake of buying in loads of booze, so it just got more and more ridiculous.
It says men in combat gear and around handbags.
Yeah, that's about the extent of it.
Right, and it says also the band are partial to being thrown fully clothed into swimming pools. Is that part of it as well?
Yeah, that's tomorrow.
Oh, hold on a minute. What do you mean?
That's what we've got to look forward to tomorrow for some interview that we're doing.
Oh, I see. It's not really the weather for being thrown into swimming pools.
I know.
Who are you doing an interview for? Where they insist that you should be thrown into swimming pools?
Yeah, it's Lime Lizard.
Oh, right. Oh, yes,
Yeah,
okay.
they seem to have some idea that it's going to come out really well. And
Nice little photo feature.
yeah.
Right. Well, I'm glad it's you and not me, I must say. Then it says gig information that you've got a London date in February on the 21st. Venue to be confirmed. Do you know where is it going to be? Do you know yet?
Well, it's either going to be the Grand in Clapham or Ulu. We don't know yet.
Right, and no other live dates until April or May when there's going to be a new LP.
Yes.
Have you started on that? Finished it? What's the status?
No, that's next week. We're going to do that.
Right, okay. That's if you don't get cold from being thrown into the swimming pool, of course. Right, and then it says this next track that we're going to play is called Crazy, and it's a cover version of a. Can you tell me? Can you tell me about this? A cover version of what?
It's a cover version of it's like a theme song for some old 60s Italian porn movie. I can't remember the name of the one. It's Escavides or something. God knows what
it says Vedo Nudo here.
Yeah, all right.
What are you doing watching 60s Italian porno movies?
Oh, it was nothing to do with us.
I see.
It was.
Who was it to do with then? Who was it to do with then?
I think he was our sound man at the time.
Oh, right.
Was playing it in the bus when we were touring last. It's a pretty good track, the original one.
Sung by a band called Wes and the Airedales, it says here.
Yeah.
Right.
One to check out, isn't it?
It is indeed. It sounds as though it might be. Okay, well, thanks very much, and I hope you don't, as I say, I hope you don't catch a cold. And I look forward to hearing the LP, all of the usual stuff, and thanks for answering the phone.
All right, ta-ra.
All right, Leslie, cheerio. This is Crazy.
I've seen a lot of good things, but I've never seen a man like you. You got me going out of my head, doing things I never thought I'd do. First time I saw you, I just couldn't believe my eyes. Your kiss gives me such a thrill. Your lips seem hypnotized. My heart keeps on pounding, my head goes around and around. I worship every little step you put up on. It's so wild, that's why I'm crazy. I'm crazy about your baby. That's why I'm crazy. Crazy about your baby. I've seen a lot of bad things, things that make me mad. Your love keeps me so at ease, the best love that I ever had. Every time you kiss me, it makes me feel so good. And the way you hold me tight, you love me so. That's why I'm crazy, crazy about your baby. Crazy, crazy about your baby. Every time you kiss me, it makes my heart stand still. You got me guessing about your love, the way you really, really, really feel. And that's why I'm crazy, crazy about your baby. Crazy, crazy about your baby. Oh, I've seen a lot of good things, but I've never seen a man like you. You got me going out of my head, doing things I never thought I'd do. The first time I saw you, I just couldn't believe my eyes. Your kiss gives me such a thrill. Your lips seem hypnotized. My heart keeps on pounding, my head goes around and around. I worship every little step you put up on. It's so wild, and that's why I'm crazy. Crazy about your baby. That's why I'm crazy. Crazy about your baby. I've seen a lot of good things, but I've never seen a man like you. You got me going out of my head, doing things I never thought I'd do. The first time I saw you, I just couldn't believe my eyes. Your kiss gives me such a thrill. Your lips seem hypnotized. And that's why I'm crazy. Crazy about your baby. Crazy. Crazy about your baby. Every time I see you, my heart makes me stand still. You got me guessing about your love, the way you really, really, really feel. And that's why I'm crazy. Crazy about your baby. Crazy. Crazy about your baby.
My interviewing technique hasn't improved a great deal over the years, has it really? You can understand why I don't do it very often. Sorry about that, Leslie. That's King Tubby from the CD King Tubby's Special 1973 to 1976, The Rebel Dance, and before that it was Silverfish and Crazy. And Andy was telling me, and I must admit I didn't hear it myself, that a track by Lucien Bakilo was played on DLT's programme yesterday on Radio 1 FM. This is Marvellous News.
Pourquoi se faire toujours de la peine pour tout ce qui nous reste de vie? Le principal c'est ton sourire, c'est bien plus fort que nos délires. Pourquoi se faire toujours de la peine pour tout ce qui nous reste de vie? Nzungu ya batendi na ndako ya nganga ebongwanaka kobate okondelelanga se pamba okondelelanga se pamba atali tanga ya pamba nalakoluka kaka senguya koyela yo koyela te tabarezi otekinga nazanda bitula na prima ngondo. Le principal c'est ton sourire, c'est bien plus fort que nos délires. Pourquoi se faire toujours de la peine pour tout ce qui nous reste de vie?
And Dave, if you're listening, I've got loads of good records you could play in next weekend. That's Lucien Pequilo from an LP from Jimmy's Productions called Le Jeu est fini, and that was Léonore. This is in response to a great number of requests, thousands and thousands of letters and postcards from people who want to hear more of those Japanese mistresses of melody. Piss. I meant before I played that to give you the lyrics of it so that you could sing along with it. I'll tell you what they are. They read thus: swell of a cluster, swarm of black flies, buzz about, smell the rot, suck the gut, bear the bot, sway of the cluster, swat of no use. And so it goes on. Multiplex, and that's Civilised Society, from a CD from Selfish Records called Thrashing Death Power, which also features Satanic Hell Slaughter and Jibbed or Gibbed, whichever one it's meant to be. And then before that, from a CD also from Selfish called Women's Liberation, it was Piss and Straight Line, and there are 3 other bands on there as well: Gaia, Gush and Wormcast. This is Mercury Rev. A disconcerting item for the nervous DJ to cope with. That's Hard Knocks on Wild Pitch Records, strictly from the Bronx, the instrumental thereof, because the vocal is full of rude words, if memory serves. Before that, it was Mercury Rev in session and Syringe Mouth. Voted in Lime Lizard, mentioned earlier on, of course, by Leslie. Readers' Poll, Best Newcomers they were. And Melody Maker, Top 50 LPs of the Year, number 4. In the NME Top 50 Singles of the Year, number 33, and so it went on. So obviously a band that has attracted a great deal of critical acclaim, as you must have realised. More from them later on. In the meantime, here's another track from the Teriyaki Asthma LPs, where the first 5 Teriyaki Asthma 7-inch EPs from CZ Records in Seattle have been brought together on an LP, and of course it's now possible for you to get hold of them. In fact, it's even possible for you to get hold of them through this programme, because we had a kind of competition that wasn't a competition. I've got 4 copies of it to give away, and all you have to do is just write it and just say we want one of them, because I can't be bothered to think of silly questions, and they just waste your time and mine, really. So if you want a copy of one of these Teriyaki Asthma records, then just put your name and address down on a postcard or on the back of an envelope and send it to John Peel, BBC Radio 1, London W1N4DJ, and I'll draw 4 names out of the hat next weekend, and these 4 people will get copies of the LP from which this track is taken. Sweet Teeth, and that comes from Dickless, a band which alas no longer exists, but it was their contribution to one of the Teriyaki Asthma EPs, and it's now on the LP, Sweet Teeth, as I say. And in case I sound slightly out of breath, it's because all of a sudden I seem to have lost the next 3 or 4 records that I was going to play for you. What I've done with them, I simply can't imagine, but while I'm looking for them, I'll play this from the LP by Superchunk, now available on City Slang Records. The copy that I had before, the import copy, for some reason the B-side of it was pressed off centre, so I've not been able to play you any of the tracks from the B-side until now. This is Throwing Things.
Going on the street like a thief, I skip my back.
Super Chunk and a track from the LP No Pocky for Kitty, and that was Throwing Things. And this next, well, when I finished last night's programme, I was leaving Broadcasting House, and there was Victor out of 70 Gwen Party waiting for me with a copy of their new single. And I wasn't intending to play it until next weekend, but I had it to hand, and here it is, an opportunity. Obviously, this is Fate, Kismet, and a chance to play, therefore, the new single, which is called Get Sick. No, that's the B-side. The Psycho beat, this is. The B-side being Get Sick on the Beach, and I will play you that next weekend. New single from 70 Gwen Party, and that was called, hold on a second, I'll have to check it again, The Psycho Beat, and on the reverse, Get Sick on the Beach, which I'll play you next weekend. And if you want to get hold of a copy of that, and as someone was just saying to me here in the studio, you can always tell that it's 70 Gwen Party. I mean, although they're not a particularly well-known band, they have an immediately identifiable sound, and that was it. And if you want to get hold of a copy of the record, as I say, then I reckon it's £2, which includes postage and packaging. And am I right in telling you this? Yes, it does include postage and packaging. And you send £2, cheques or postal orders, to Snape Records at 24 Inverness Road, Hounslow, Middlesex. That's Snape Records, 24 Inverness Road, Hounslow, Middlesex. TW3 3L something. It disappears off the edge of the piece of paper. But as long as you get Hounslow, Middlesex down, I'm sure it'll get to them in the fullness of time. 70 Gwen Party, and this is Silverfish in session, another one of the tracks that occurs on the new 12-inch, Vitriola. Silverfish in session, and that's called Vitriola, and as I say, there's a version of that on the new 12-inch for Creation Records, with scrambled egg. Next weekend's sessions, on Saturday it's Dawson and Smashing Pumpkins, and then on Sunday it's FSK, all the way from Germany, and Cobra, a debut session, of course, from him on the programme, which I'm looking forward to a great deal. After Silverfish, Gospel Fish. My goodness me.
Now hear this. Now you have some little guy growing on a talk about gun that and gun this. Well, me are the Reverend, and me come fit you a hall gun in a sea. And if a guy don't like that, just drop on me. Watch me now, Lord of His mercy. You see the gun talk, that fit instantly park. You know, train the youth, them fit turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fit instantly park. Me no want you, train the youth, them fit turn no gun. What if a DJ took up a mic and a strictly gun talk? But me no love it, them lyrics they fit park. No for them a cowards, but just love to talk. Them a try fi drive up fear in a man heart. Them see a gun, them tremble and ball. If the police grab them, they start cut. You see the gun talk, that fi instantly park. You know, train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you, train the youth, them fi turn no gun. No know what is little picnic, I fear gun talk. Who don't have a bama, I go and know some ass. No for them a plan, I'll fi clear some a waff. But tell the DJ, them say them fi mass. Gospel the Reverend, say rubbish your talk. Put me pan your nozzle, me pop off it. Raise you up and make you run, go a toilet, go mass for the gun talk. That fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. You know, train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. When a guy a get up and preach about gun, tell him say fi back that and open it now. One ounce a gun and him can't show none. They got the bomber and yet them a fi run. If the cops hold that a fool him turn. Me say one gun me have and he bring picnic come. As the picnic come, me ma tell you about gun. Just the other day me a fi box down me son for the gun talk. That fi instantly park, you know. Train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. I am your Reverend and I love gun. But if you no license, I don't want none. One time gun me did take it fi fun. Kick off a door with me big magnum. Me and me friend them inna the house, I hear that down. But little after that me see a cough knock come. All of me friend them all gone down. 6'6" them they under the ground. So no bother make the youth them study bunk no. You see the gun talk, that fi instantly park. You know, train the youth them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth them fi turn no gun. But if a DJ take up the mic and a strictly gun talk, but me no love it, the lyrics they fi park. No for them a coward, but just love to talk. Them a try fi drive up fear in a man heart. If them see a gun, them tremble and ball. If the police grab that, him start cut. You see the gun talk, that fi instantly park. You know, train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth, them fi turn no gun. No know what is little picnic, I pay a gun talk. Who no have a bama, I go and know some ass. No for them a plan, I'll fi clear some a waff. But tell the DJ who said that famous. Gospel the Reverend, say rubbish your talk. Put me pan your nozzle, me pop off it. Raise you up and make you run, go a toilet, go mass for the gun talk. That fi instantly park, you know. Train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. When a guy a get up and talk about gun, tell him say fi back that and open it now. One ounce a gun and him can't show none. They got the bomber and yet them a fi run. If the cops hold that a fool him turn. Me say one gun me have and he bring picnic come. As the picnic come, me ma tell you about gun. Just the other day me a fi box down me son for the gun talk. That fi instantly park, you know. Train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. You see gun talk, that fi instantly park. Me no want you train the youth, them fi turn no gun knock. I am your Reverend and I love gun. But if you no license, I don't want none. One time gun me did a
Gospel Fish, and that's called Too Much Gun Talk, and it comes from the LP Ragga Clash from Fashion Records. And I should be getting hold of some new pre-release singles this week, at least I hope that I will be, with which I can delight you during next weekend's programmes. Here's a letter from Rubes, who writes to me from time to time from Ipswich, and he says, I have to say that your performance in the Archers nearly moved me to tears, the way you put so much feeling and emotion into your lines that you'd never guess you were reading them. I think he's probably making fun of me here, and he says, after this, nobody could accuse you of being a cardboard cutout character. I've noticed that you kept very quiet about being a friend of the Snells. I think I would too. And he goes on at some length about the Archers. And then he says, while staying up to 2 a.m. on Sunday to listen to your wonderful sessions, I was reading one of my Christmas books called Milk Sulfate Something and Starvation, I think. Milk and Albie's Starvation, it looks like, by Martin Miller, about a paranoid man who likes the fall and collects comics. And it sounds horribly familiar, he says. Your name is mentioned on page 10. This is the third book, I think, in which my name is mentioned. In fact, there's a book set in Glasgow in which there's a gang of people who spend their entire time discussing football, drinking beer and listening to the programmes. Unfortunately, I gave my copy of that to a mate of mine who lives in Germany, and I've forgotten what it was called and don't have a copy of it. Anyway, where are we? This is Mercury Rev in session, also, and this is Coney Island Cyclone. Trouble with the cutlery. That's Mercury Rev in session, Coney Island Cyclone. One more from them before we disappear into the night. And this is another of those records that was sent to me from Zimbabwe by my agent there, my representative, my earthly representative. And it's by an ensemble called Mike Mungoshi and the Lazzy Bones. Not, as you might imagine, Lazy Bones, but Lazzy with two Zs. And just to confirm that this isn't a misspelling, it's Lazzy Bones Records as well. And the track itself is called Mary Shamwari Yangoon.
Mariano, je tumba o jogo,
uncertainty in the ranks there, I think, and lyrically rather single-minded. That's Michael Mungoshi and the Lazzy Bones on Lazzy Bones Records from Zimbabwe. Mari Shamwari Yangu is the title of it. And this next one is another record. Well, I'll give you an address for it afterwards because you may not be able to find it generally. It's the third single from Splintered, but it's their first on Dying Earth Records. Indeed, it's the first record to be released on Dying Earth. There are 3 tracks on a 7-inch in kind of Lucasade coloured vinyl, and this is the best of the 3, I think, after a couple of hearings. It's Candleskin. I think it's the Tolling Bells that do it for me on that one. Splintered, and that's Candleskin. As I say, one of 3 tracks on a 7-inch on Dying Earth Records. And if you want to get hold of a copy of that, then you have to send £2.70, which includes P&P again. Cheques or postal orders made payable to J. Ford, letter J, Ford, F-O-R-D-E. And that's at 13 Warren Close, Sandhurst, Camberley, Surrey. Bit quick for you, was it? OK, I'll do it again. You have to send your cheques or postal orders to J. Ford, letter J, then F-O-R-D-E, 13 Warren Close, Sandhurst, Camberley, Surrey, GU17 8EL, GU17 8EL. And I don't often get to listen to I don't play many of the Peel Sessions records on Strange Fruit, no particular reason for it, but I mean, I assume that you know them already. But I did listen over Christmas to the Winters of Discontent double LP, 77 to 83, the Peel sessions, and having not heard it previously, I'm ashamed to say, I actually came out of it rather proud of it. This is one of the tracks from the double LP. Susie and the Banshees from the double LP Winters of Discontent on Strange Fruit, Love in a Void, and Patrick Muirhead has the news.
Algeria is sliding towards a political confrontation with the cancellation of the second round of the general election. A Security Council is now running the country after the resignation.
What a mad rush this programme is turning out to be. All as a consequence of my losing those records, but I think I've got everything under control again now. From the LP Martha Jane Cannery, that's Calamity Jane. It's on SMR Records, not in the shops yet, but shortly, and that was called Shark. And from the new double LP by We, not, I think, quite as instantly appealing as the first one. It's on Shimmy Disc, and this is Sorry Charlie.
Them a talk about Dennis and Dan Thai system, mother. Them a talk about Dan Gag and come from rule the area. But where me come from, them can't understand them kind of lingua. So me have to take a brand new style, me over India. Anytime me chat enough, y'all, them a follow. Me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Lord, I want a dang ding, say Dan Raja, you know, say this a youth man. Me a the Raja, me a me Ronnie, man. Take coffee, me lover, to kill Rajiva. Want me take over in the Bangladesh. No people, them a suffer, but now me come rule everything up be proper. I can't give you style, me say about Dan Dada. You have the Dan gargle from the one ninja, but them can't understand them, the lingua. So listen, crowd of people, man, when me start utter, I mix up the Indian with all the patois. So go tell your Baji, your Bobby, your Chacha, that the wild Apache, me a the Dan Raja, Dan Raja, yes, ragamuffin on me a the Maharaja. Lord, I want a dang dang, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Pin now 1 and 2 and 3, I miss a pepper. I got him, I say that him not like pepper. But him coulda never hotter than masala or me chutney. You have with samosa or me chili inside me. Before if a boy test, you know say that a murder chase him up the road, man. I with a fi me sorta lick him 2 times. I with a fi me belna and once again a man I with me hot over. I don't go tell him Bibi, I go tell him Baba that the wild Apache, they well out to order. Me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me come take over. Me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me come take. Lord, I want a dang ding, I miss a bother. Say if a boy test, I know me just can't bother. But take me advice, man, I listen when me utter. Before you come test, man, this ya Dan Raja. Go pray to Hare Krishna or Hare Rama. Go bow for your head, man, in a good wara. Or in a for your mother, go read your scripture. Now the Muslim, I go pray to Allah. Me no ramp with a boy that I feel same better. Yeah, anytime I come, enough lyrics, me a fire. Lord, I want a dang ding, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Pin a min and one miss a me. Enough of them a talk about me a coolie. And from this I know they want take liberty. Them can't realize, I know them just can't see. That from say me come and me not this nobody. Me push reggae music to a different body. A next nation and a next country. And from freestyle people them a ask me about the one called Shabba and the one called Potty and about Super Cat and Sweet Tea. I read me no mind no a boy no we want this me. Me walk and a talk with the Almighty. Lord, I want a dang ding, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me a the Dan. Chiribidi bibidi bong skin, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me come take over, me a the Dan, me a the Dan Raja, me come take.
That, of course, is Apache Indian, the new 12-inch, the third, which is called Don Raja. And before that, it was a track from Ween from the new double LP on Shimmy Disc. The LP set is The Pod, and the track I played you was Sorry Charlie. And now coming up for the fourth successive programme, it's Bang Bang Machine. And if you've not heard this before, then you're in for a real treat. Well, you're in for a real treat whether you've heard it before or not. Since I played it to you last night, though, I've seen what I take to be a photograph of Bang Bang Machine. And I was rather disturbed to see that they were all wearing shades in what appeared to be some sort of a studio. But I put this down to youthful high spirits or misunderstandings of some sort and hope that they won't do it again. This is Geek Love, Bang Bang Machine from Evesham, a really wonderful record. Next weekend I'll try and control myself and only play it once. That's Bang Bang Machine on Jimmy Kidd Records. Geek Love, the title of the track. Also next weekend, on Saturday, sessions from Dawson and Smashing Pumpkins, and on Sunday, FSK and Cobra. These are the Valentines. That's it, man. That's from the new LP by Sofahead, which came with a sad little note saying, you won't like this, but the LP is called Acres of Geeses. Heavens only knows why. Well, I'm sure Sofahead know why, and so do SMR Records, and that's called Mummy Hurt My Head. Before that, it was the Valentines, and from the LP Savage Kick Volume 6, That's It Man. Shut up and dance. mighty record from Shut Up and Dance, and that's on Shut Up and Dance Records, of course, Green Man. And this is typical of several letters that I've received over the past couple of weeks. It comes from Rob Millbridge, Plymouth, and it says, Dear John, all flued up and nowhere to go, so spending a while editing down your soul-searing programmes. What is there to edit out? The whole thing is priceless, I would have thought. The idea that you could remove bits of it when you're illegally recording it seems to be rather shocking. Anyway, when amid the rustled peeling of a paracetamol, up popped the voice of girlfriend Juliet to say that orchestral piece in Shut Up and Dance's Green Man is taken from the soundtrack of The Last Emperor, scored by Ryuichi Sakamoto, top geezer with Japan once upon a time, she adds. Could all of this be true? Well, as a matter of fact, it seems to be. Seems to be the one, all right. Ryuichi Sakamoto from the soundtrack of the film The Last Emperor, and that's called Rain, in brackets, I Want a Divorce. Also, Finesse, as originally rendered by ABBA. And the last one from Silverfish is their version of David Essex's Rock On. This is something I've been looking forward to all evening.
Stop
And very good too. I like it when bands do cover sessions. I mean, cover versions, when they either do something in a fairly radical way so that it's barely recognisable. I think it's better to do that than just to slavishly imitate. That seems rather pointless, really. So that's just fine. That's Silverfish in session, the last from them. And that's Rock On, of course. Last night I also recommended to you the new LP, again on Shimmy Disc Records, called Artistic Vice by Daniel Johnston, seen by many people as being his first sort of proper, as it were, formal recordings. And it's wonderful. There are echoes to me of Loudon Wainwright in some of the tracks, and he's always been a great favourite, but it's very much Daniel Johnston and good songs. And this is the first track on side one. It's My Life is Starting Over.
My life is starting over again, my friend. Across the land, now got me a band, my fame is spreading across the land. My life is starting over again, I know that there's no place left to hide, but I guess that it's better than suicide. The years of suffering and pain, there's no one to blame except myself. But my life is starting over again. My time is fleeting fast, it just won't last. I forgot about the past. My life is starting over again. I know that there's no place left to hide, but I guess that it's better than suicide. My life is starting over again, my friend. Say I'm back again. Over again.
Well, I'm sorry about that. It's another track grotesquely mistimed. Daniel Johnston from the LP on Shimmy Disc, Artistic Vice, and My Life is Starting Over. And I was actually on the phone, I have to admit this, but in the course of duty, because Andy Kershaw was on the phone, much impressed by the work of Daniel Johnston and wishing to know more. And I was in the process of telling him more. I'm now talking to you again. Oh boy. This is Salt Tank, and it's a single on number 4 Real Records. This is Ease the Pressure Drop remix. This is actually another record that comes to me with an address that I'm to pass on to you because it's not generally available in the kind of shops that you go to, if it's available in any shops at all. It's by Salt Tank, and that was Ease the Pressure, and you can have that if you send £2.99 to 14 Artillery Terrace, Guildford, Surrey. 14 Artillery Terrace. What a great address. 14 Artillery Terrace, Guildford, Surrey. But what you put on your cheques and your postal orders, it doesn't tell me. But there you are. Salt Tank, anyway, the name of the ensemble. And this is the last tonight from Mercury Rev. This is Fritterin'.
Its way down to the line. I see you fritter away, slow as a glacier makes its way down to the Rhine. And you wonder why I leave so soon, how I get so high, sink to the bottom of your room. I wonder why I stay, slow as a glacier makes its way down to the Rhine. I see chisel away, hammer in place, always in time. I wonder what to do, slow as a glacier takes to move on through your brain. And you wonder why I leave so soon, how
I want you to know, listeners, I'm beginning to feel persecuted because that is mistimed as well. And these programmes, although you would not know it to listen to them, are very, very carefully timed. Everything is worked out meticulously from the end of the programme back to the start. And so I have a vague idea, anyway, when everything should happen. And that's really messed my life up. I'm afraid it's spoiled my weekend. Mercury Rev and Frittering. And this is from Distorted Pony, from a single-sided LP on Bomp Records. It's called Pillar of Salt. Distorted Pony, and that's a track from an LP called Work Makes Freedom, and I suppose I should have noticed earlier on, but the sleeve is based on the gates to Auschwitz, which is rather unpleasant. I wish they hadn't done that. Pillar of Salt is the title of the track, and that was Bomb. This is from an LP that Andy Kershaw gave me, which he's been featuring in his programme by the Zimbabwe Cha-Cha-Cha Kings. This is South Africa.
Kristu weNazareta, musiki musimboti warodenga nepasi. Chinoshevedzera mbiri kuna Gabriel naMaikoro, vatungamiriri vengirozi dziri kumusoro kudenga. Chinoti Pita wakapiwa kidzedenga pamusana pemutenda. Zarura soguru Gabriel amire nemutauro kuna Kristo. Kristo vagotura kuchigaro chavaba chinoera. Icho chakambotwa nechita chengirozi dzavana vacheche. Chakanurai vana venyu kubva mudzoki rehuranda. Varwurei kubva mukuparara kweropa nemweya. 2,400 ine mwenje minomwe. Nura roputa siku nesikati. Ichimba hosana Gloria. Parapiwo nekusingagume.
And after the most excellent letter that one of the members of the band wrote to me, Andy Kershaw and myself plan to try and get them over here by some means or other. That's from the Zimbabwe Cha-Cha-Cha Kings from an LP called Vimbiso. Whether they've got more copies at the shop where Andy got that, I simply don't know, but I hope that they have, and I hope that you'll go and get one. And that track was called South Africa. Let me remind you that next weekend, on Saturday, it's Sessions from Dawson and Smashing Pumpkins. On Sunday, it's FSK and Cobra. Tonight, it's been Mercury Rev and Silverfish, and it'll be Lynn Parsons after the news. Thanks very much for listening to all of this. And to end tonight's, I'm sorry about the various things that have gone wrong. I mean, sometimes, you know, it's that kind of a night. There's nothing you can do about it at all, and the worse it gets, the worse it gets. To end the programme, William Bell, and appropriately, of course, Quitting Time.
Working hard, 8 to 4, make a little money, still need more. Left my woman waiting in the door, just can't wait till the clock strikes 4. Quitting time, oh Lord, quitting time. Oh, I gotta see my woman, can't wait for quitting time. Later it gets, my hand gets sore. Woman pushing more and more, wiping sweat from my face. Just can't wait to leave this place. Quitting time. Oh, quitting time. Oh, I gotta see my woman. I just can't wait for quitting time. I'm working so hard. Save my money bit by bit. This old job is hard to quit. Working for my baby every day. Weekend come, don't get my way. Quitting time. Wow, Lord, quitting time. Well, I gotta see my woman. I just can't wait for quitting time. I got to quit now. Oh, quitting time. Working hard. Quitting time. I'm working every day. Quitting time. Make a little money. Quitting time. I'm working so hard. Quitting time.
That's William Bell from the Stax CD, a little something extra, and the track's called Quitting Time. It's